The Death of the Designer is a 2D meta-detective game that reflects on the interactions between the intentions of the designers and the actions of the players. Our aims and objectives are to design a game that allows players to think about their role as a player. We are hoping players can think about how they will affect the game world and explore new possibilities in games. The game has a total of 3 stages. At the beginning of the game, the player acts as a playtester who enters a classroom to investigate a murder case. They must drag the knife to the right to enter the scene. The first stage is a simple point-and-click investigation level. Players can click on the characters and objects to read dialogues and obtain clues. There are 5 characters in the classroom: Jack, Emily, Tom, Jane, and the victim, John. Players must use the collected information to identify the murderer. For example, when they investigate the knife cut into the victim's neck, they find it has a tobacco and woody hint of scent on its handle. Upon inspecting the items on the suspects, they discover that only 2 characters use tobacco, with one male character's cigar emitting a distinct woody fragrance. The character's name is hinted at on a smartphone, mentioning his authored work by the victim. Thus, his name is Jack. Once players correctly identify Jack as the murderer, the game progresses to Stage 2. In Stage 2, we start transforming the game into a metagame. Although the game appears similar to Stage 1, there are 2 hints suggesting that this game is unusual. For instance, characters will indicate that they have spoken the same words to the player before, and Emily's cigarette and Jack's cigar will disappear, showing that the player's actions in Stage 1 affect the game world, causing the smoked tobaccos to vanish. Once they have spoken to all the characters, the world outside the classroom is revealed, and the player discovers that Stage 1 was actually a tabletop game. Since the player has lost crucial evidence to accuse the teacher Jack, they must search for new clues about the murderer. The player will find a safe on the table, along with a note hinting at the combination. The sequence in the note is notebook, table, clock, and coffee. By exploring these locations in order, the player can obtain a code to open the safe, inside of which is a photo with a fingerprint clue, showing only the player's cursor on the handle. This is our arranged plot twist. Players will find out that they are the murderer. Stage 3 will be a draft version of the previous stages visually. There will be a QR code linked to an Instagram account. On that account, players can learn more about the background story of the game and find clues to solve the stage. Players will discover that the characters from the previous 2 stages are real people, learn about their personalities, and understand the designer's intent. For example, Tom's real name is Tyler Robin, a person who feels uncertain about the future and chose this field simply because he enjoys playing games. His favorite games are those that require quick reactions and minimal information, focusing mainly on shooting games. To immerse players in this experience, we created a video. When players pause the video while the crosshair overlaps with lines, the word "kill" appears. Players can then solve the mysteries of the other 2 characters to reveal the phrase, "Designer kill himself." In the end, players will learn that the one who actually murdered the character is the designer himself.